Hey guys, Jason with CB Customs. Appreciate you guys stopping by, checking out what we're doing today. Today we are back in the garage on the 75 International with the 12 valve Cummins. If you saw the last video on this one, we got the injectors nearly completely installed and then found out that they were the wrong injectors. They were actually for a Gen 2 Cummins, or Gen 2 Dodge Cummins. This engine came out of a Gen 1, so the threads on the top of the injectors are a little bit smaller and my lines wouldn't go on, so we had to pull them back out. The good news is my experience with power-driven diesel turned out to be a great one. So basically they contacted me that night, and it was about 9 o'clock at night. They got a message on Facebook, I think. Gave them my phone number. They called me and they were like, hey, we want to make this right. Let's get you some injectors. Guy's name was Tim, a sales guy for him. Couldn't speak higher of him. He was a solid dude, did me right. Got the injectors. I sent him back the old injectors. Everything's good. Had them pretty quick. Only took a couple of days. I didn't have to wait to send it in and then do all that other fun stuff. So, like I said, couldn't be happier. Injectors are here. So I'm not going to make you guys watch everything you saw in the last video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the injectors to where they were when we found they were wrong, and then we'll finish the install and we'll see if this old 12 valve runs. Another thing, if you kind of know what's going on with this truck, paint thinner was put in the fuel tank while it was at the paint shop, and then just didn't run right. When I finally got to tear into it, found that one of the injectors was bad. Now, that doesn't mean that that is the problem. It means one of the injectors are bad, so we're going to put that in. The only other thing it could be is the pump. We did our compression check. Everything was over 450, so we got 6 cylinders pumping over 450. That's fine for a Cummins. So we're going to get the injectors in, but we're still going to find out if the pump's okay. If we got to change the pump, we got to change the pump. At that point, this thing's good to go. I'm really hoping we don't have to change the pump because I want to start reassembling this truck. I'm really antsy about it. So let me get the injectors in. We'll get right back to the bleeding process, and that's where I left you guys on the last video. So see you on that. Okay, the injectors are installed just like we left off in the last video. This time the lines did go down. Now you can see they're loose. I also don't have my clamps on yet because if I have to pull the pump, I'm gonna have to take all that back off. I'm not worried about it. So now we just go straight to bleeding. So again, everything's on. The return line is tight because that doesn't have to be open for bleeding. Just the pressure lines are open a little bit. Now, there's no wiring on this truck yet. This truck is ready for that stuff. There's the grill up there. Just like to show that off. So the way I wired it up just to start and test it is I've got a start button and then just a toggle switch for on off. That toggle switch runs over to the pump. That's all that's on this truck. So first thing I'm going to do is walk over here. Oh, too much stuff going on. And we're going to make sure that she's in neutral. You know what? We don't even have to go through there. We'll go through the window. All right. Neutral. All right, let's see if we can bleed these lines. And we do have the dash and everything's all done. There's a lot of neat stuff. Got a whole custom dash we're putting in. It's all painted up. I just didn't want to start putting all the wiring and stuff in until she was ready. So now I'm going to hit the button, toggle switch on. So our pump's live, and we're going to crank it over till we start seeing fuel shoot out. That should do it. All right, I'm going to grab my 17 millimeter, tighten all 6, and we'll try and fire it up. All right, tightened them up. Kind of the moment of truth here. Toggle switch is still on. Well, wish me luck. Interesting. We'll try bleeding it a little bit more. Could just have a bad pump, guys. Alright, I opened a couple of lines, I think just the middle three. And now we're gonna have to charge the battery. So we'll come back and bleed it after we get a charge on the battery. Shut the switch off and pull the battery and get back to you guys in a little bit. Went to put the battery on a charger and there was another one sitting there that showed good. Looks old, but I'll give it a shot again. I got a couple open and let's see what happens. Pump on, toggle switch on. Let's go. Let's close those up. Let me get a wrench. All right, tightened. Let's see. He's shaking. Let's open this window. Pull it out. Okay guys, if you can hear me, she's still smoking real bad, and I go over to the pump. Doesn't really change anything. I'm gonna say we still have a pump problem. So yeah, we'll go ahead and shut her off. Yeah. Looks like the injector wasn't the only problem. We are going to have to change this guy. We'll figure that out. Let's see how she fires right back up. Or if it just bleeds down inside the pump. Yep. Okay guys, if you made it to the end of the video, then you know that the injectors did not fix the problem. She fired up after a little more than I'm used to for bleeding. It was probably because the pump stuck at like 3/4. I mean, if you saw in the video, I was hitting the throttle. Well, I moved it with my hand so you guys can see it in the video, and it's just stuck open. So we're gonna need a pump. This is obviously not the problem for the injectors. I mean, from power-driven diesel. If they did have an injector that was bad, it would have ran different. This thing ran. It's the pump. So now we're gonna get a pump. We're gonna move on. Another cool thing did happen that I wanted to let you guys know about. Another YouTuber. Hodgepodge Dodge Garage, Zane over there, he threw a shout out to me, which was really cool. I'd never even seen his YouTube channel. I haven't even met the guy yet, but hoping to. I watched some of his videos, and I think if you guys like my videos, you guys are gonna like his videos. I didn't watch all of them, but the ones I watched were all super clean, so you know, family friendly, things like that. I honestly think his channel's a lot like mine. So if you guys want to jump over there and say hi, tell him you came from CV, just like he did to me. I had a bunch of people leaving comments saying Zane sent me. So that was super cool. And if you're watching, Zane, thank you a bunch. And hope to catch you guys on the next video. We'll With any luck, we'll have a pump for this soon. I do have the power steering kit we're going to get started on for Sam's Highboy. So let's get to that.